Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this, this session of MFiles Quick Tips. I'd like to welcome everybody, and before we get going too far, if you could just raise your hand to let me know that you can hear my voice. Just a quick audio check, make sure everybody can hear me okay. And awesome, we're getting everybody raising their hand. Perfect. Okay, just click on your hand again to lower it. So audio is good, we're good to go. Well, today's discussion is going to be on different document types, different programs that we use to edit those document types that do not have the MFiles integration. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Well, let's talk about what we're going to cover. These are the topics: checking out a document, editing that document, checking the document back in, saving to MFiles, and opening from MFiles. And again, this is going to be done without the MFiles interface. We're going to use a program that is different than like Microsoft Word. Let me actually show you what we're talking about here. That's probably the easiest method. So inside of the MFiles program, you can see up here at the very top, you have the MFiles interface where you can open, save, explore, check out, check in, undo, compare all those features. What I'm going to be doing is demonstrating in a program that doesn't have those features. So it doesn't have that integration. So let's take a look at that. So actually, let me go back to MFiles here. So inside of MFiles, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open a document. And I'm actually going to pick on a picture. So I'm going to go into my common views, pictures. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one. So in this case, let's pick on this flower. So when I pick on this flower, what I'm going to do is actually open it up in a different program. So what I want to do is I want to first check it out so nobody else can edit it. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to say check out. Now what I've done is prevented anybody else from making changes to that document when I'm working on it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click to open it in the program that's associated with it. So in this case, it's just a picture viewing program that does allow me to make some edits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some edits here, and I can go up here to the edit tool. So we'll draw on the document, on my picture here. We'll just put in some colored lines. Great. I'm going to go over here and save it. So it's going right back into MFiles. I'm going to click on the X to close. Now, it did not prompt me to do any check in or check out. So back here on the MFiles screen, I can see it is still checked out. I also see it up here as well. So I can select the document, right click on it, and check it in. Just that simple. Now let's say I have a document. Let's go to, actually let me demonstrate that a different way. So I'm going to go back into pictures and I'm going to go to a picture called, see if I find it here. There it is, flowers. Notice the extension, it's a PSD. That is a Photoshop file. Now, it already is connected to know that that file is tagged or programmed to open would be Photoshop. If you don't see that and MFiles gives you an error, it doesn't know what program to use, that is a Windows setting. What you need to do is then find a file format or extension with the same extension, you need to, inside your Windows program, right click, and you need to associate what program to open with that file type. Then mFiles will know that as well. So I'm going to double click on my flower. It said, do I want to check it out? Yes. Now you're going to see some of this integration in some programs, even though they don't have the mFiles interface. And I can draw on my flower here. I'm just really crude stuff here. So I'm going to go to File, Save, and now I'm going to go to Close. Now in this case, mFiles is going to prompt me if I want to check this file back in. I'm going to say yes. That file has now been checked back in to mFiles. Notice I don't have the green check mark and there's nothing in the checked out area. Pretty slick. Now, what if you want to save a brand new file from an external program into mFiles? How can I do that? So I'm going to open up a file, and I happen to have a file here, some Canon pictures, and let's see here. I've got, my grandson's first birthday. So we'll scroll down and take a look at some of those pictures. Here's a picture of with him and mom and dad. So let me open that. Takes a moment since it is Photoshop. Okay, so there's Brooks, mom and dad. So I want to save this into mFiles. How do I do that? Great question. So I'm going to go to File. Here you have to use the Save As. So I'm going to pick a different directory. So in my PC, I was able to do a shortcut for mFiles. Your shortcut may be different. So I'm going to select M. Now these are all the different vaults that I have for my mFiles. I'm going to go to Marco Training, and I'm going to give the file a name. We're going to call this Brooks Birthday with Mom and Dad. Okay, click Save. What's going to happen now is mFiles is going to open up the metadata card. And on the metadata card, complete the additional information describing my document. So in this case, the class is going to be picture. Taken by, we're going to say Danica. Rating, this is going to get a 10. I'm not going to print this one though. And keywords, we got Brooks birthday first, and mom, dad. Okay. Description, we'll just add a little more. Okay. Select create. So now what this did is saved that picture inside of mFiles. Now I could make some edits here. I could remove the background, whatever I need to do. And then when I'm done making my changes, I'm going to go up here to File, Save, because I already did the Save As. I'm going to save it. Okay, I'm going to click OK. Click OK. It's talking about compatibility inside of Photoshop. Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to close this image. Okay, it looks like I'm being a little too fast. Got to give it a little time. Okay, Now I get a prompt from mFiles. Do I want to check it back in? Notice it does give me a countdown. Let's say I don't see this or it's on a different screen. So I'm going to let it expire. Nothing bad happened. When we go back to mFiles, I can see under my checked out area, I still have a document checked out. So from here, I can select check in. So just as a quick note and review, remember when you check out a document, nobody else can edit it when you're making changes. When you check your document back in, you're checking in your changes you've made and allowing other people to make edits to that document. The last thing I want to talk about here is opening up a file from mFiles. So we're going to go to Open from Photoshop. Notice I'm back in my M drive. Let me actually switch this back a little bit. When you first go to your mFiles drive, you got to choose which vault you want to go to if you have more than one vault. So I'm going to go Marco Training. Now, if you take a look at this, it looks just like mFiles. Has the same features. You have your views, common views, personal views. You have your other views, and the kicker, you can search for items up at the top. Pretty cool. So we're going to pick an image here. Do this, Brooke's first birthday, and click open. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? He's eating this cupcake and he's got like half of it on his face. Not too bad for a little guy. He's doing pretty good there. I'm going to now close it and check inside of mFiles to make sure everything is checked back in. So I'm good to go. What I want to do at this point is I want to open it up for any type of questions that you might have. We did have a couple come in here. Let me take the first one here. What if I am not prompted to check out or check in the document? Great question. So at that point, what you would need to do is you would need to check in that document. And that's as simple as you can either go up here to the checked out, and then when you see it, you could check it in. If you do log out of mFiles, it will also tell you any documents that you need to check in. But a reminder, if you're not seeing that prompt to check out and you're making edits, go to mFiles and check out the document so nobody else can make edits to it when you're working with it. The second question, your mFiles interface looks a little different. What is that slider in the upper right-hand corner? Ah, good eyes. Here in the upper right-hand corner, you can see a slider where I could switch to new. What does that mean? mFiles in the future, like next month, October, will be releasing a new interface. But don't panic, don't fret. You as an end user will be able to control whether you want the new interface or not. There's two items that are required that have to be done before you will see the button. Once that's done, one of them is on the IT side and another one is on the user side. Then you'll see the option and you can switch between. And that's going to be in October. And please attend our next webinar, or excuse me, please attend our next Quick Tips, where I'll be talking more about that feature. I didn't see any other questions come in. What I'd like to do at this point is thank everybody for coming to today's Quick Tip. Also remember, our next one is October 15th. Now I'm not 100% sure if that new interface will be released by next month. So that's why there's question marks. If you scan the QR code, that will take you to the registration page. You'll be able to see what the next webinar is in a few days. At the end of today's session, please take a moment and complete the survey to let us know what topics that you would like to see or how today's web session went. I'd like to thank everybody for attending today. Have a great day. Goodbye.